This is a rainbow Casio G-Shock watch that I bought from eBay for $175, and this is a full black Casio G-Shock watch that I bought from Lazada for $100. One of them is real, and as you've guessed from the title, the other one is fake. If you are a G-Shock enthusiast like me who buys a lot of watches online, then it is so important that you learn how to spot these fake G-Shock watches. In order to do that, I spent the last few days researching, trying to find out exactly how to identify these fake G-Shock watches. So here are my 5 best tips in order to identify a fake G-Shock GA2100 watch, and you'll also be able to find out which of these watches is fake at the end of the video. So the first thing you want to look at would be the packaging. The way you kind of identify whether the G-Shock watches are real or not starts all the way from the packaging itself. When you first get the G-Shock watch, it's probably in a parcel or something like that. Once you take it out, you'll be in the original packaging, and that's where the authentication begins. When you look at the packaging itself, you want to look around and find that probably the G-Shock logo is something that is sort of very vibrant, very sharp kind of look on it. And you also want to see that over there on the side, you'll see that there's a model number, and this should correspond with the text that's later on the watch itself. They should be the same. You also want to see the color of the box, and also to make sure that the box is also very nicely packaged, much like how all the original G-Shock watches are like. So on the box itself, on the tag itself, you also have a barcode. You can also verify on the Casio G-Shock website to see if the G-Shock watch is indeed real or not. Inside as well, you'll also find a warranty card and an instruction manual. So this is where it gets interesting as well, because all the fake G-Shock watches, they also have these things inside. They also have a fake instruction manual, or rather a fake warranty card as well, and it's important to have a look. So if you have a look at both of these things, you will find that actually the original G-Shock watch warranty card and the fake G-Shock watch warranty card actually looks quite similar, but the color looks a little bit different. So the fake one looks a little bit more worn out, a little bit more, how would you say, discolored? Yeah, not so authentic as the real one. And you just have a little bit of a sus feel, you know, when you're kind of holding it a little bit. From the instruction manual itself, you can also see that usually it has a code. Usually it says 5611, and it should correspond with whatever is at the back of the watch itself that says 5611. Usually with a lot of these watches, the code itself, the fake ones, the code itself on the instruction manual is different from the watch label as well behind the watch. And if you kind of compare, the sizes of the instruction manuals are very different as well. The real one is a little bit thicker, and it has a current, or rather it has a few languages in it, and it looks pretty legit. The fake one is usually about half the size of it. It's not as thick, but it has most of the things in English and the other half in Chinese. So this is the easiest way to find out that those are the fake ones over there. Next would be checking the watch functions. One of the things you want to look at would be the hour markers. So usually when you want to check the time, or you want to change the time depending on the time zone that you're in when you travel to different countries, you usually press this button on the left side, you hold and press, and what's going to happen is this cursor, or rather this thing, will kind of move depending on which day it is, and then followed by the hour markers will also move in order to reset the watch itself. I realized that for the fake watch that I have, it resets quite only the day itself, and even then the day itself is also wrong, but the hour markers don't even move. So that is one of the telltale signs that things are a little bit off, and this is something that you should know. The second thing would be the LED light as well. The LED light is a little bit tricky because honestly the fake ones are actually pretty good as well. Even though when you press it and then you're really checking it, you can honestly can't really tell whether there's any difference or not. The LED lights just work quite well on the fake G-Shock watches as well. I must congratulate, or rather give credit where it's due. These fake G-Shock watches are really well made as well, because they do look pretty decent. And if you don't touch enough G-Shock watches, or you don't suspect anything, and this is your first watch, you never know what is fake and what is real, you know. That's why you have to look at all these small intricate details. I've come into contact with maybe like more than 10-15 G-Shock watches, so whenever I take a G-Shock watch like that and it just feels a little bit off, you know, things are a little bit sus, then you should really trust your gut instinct and really go and check and see if all these things really make sense, which is probably why you guys are watching this video, right? The other thing you want to also check would be the LED lights are a little bit more tricky, because if you are getting these second-hand G-Shock watches, the LED light might just be not working or spoiled because the battery is no longer working, so you just probably have to replace it just to have a look at it. One other thing you can also look at would be the watch color. For this rainbow watch that I got over here, if I look carefully, okay, I didn't know at the time, but if you look carefully, right, the colors are a little bit off, in a sense where you can see that there's a little bit of redishness on the watch itself. It looks very different from how it actually compares on the pictures online, where it looks more of a rainbowish color on the online pictures rather than the real watch itself. The fourth thing you want to look at would be the watch watch quality. You can look at the buckle over here. You can compare the buckles on both sides. You can see that the real one is a very nice sort of silverish kind of color and very nice kind of touch to it. The fake one is a little bit more of like a stainless steel. I'm not too sure, but it looks a little bit cheaper and it doesn't look as authentic as well. The second thing also, if you can turn the watch around, you can see that the original watch is actually very nicely shaped at the back of the watch. It's very nicely flat and the things are engraved very nicely. If you look at the fake watches, you can see that they're a little bit dome shaped. It kind of sticks out a little bit. You can also see this from the side view where it kind of sticks out a little bit compared to the bottom view as well. You also want to do a little bit of a weight check when you're holding the G-Shock watches. If you hold the G-Shock watches, the real one is usually a little bit heavier because of all the real components in it. The fake one is a little bit lighter and it just feels kind of cheap. Yeah, it just kind of feels cheap, but again, it's very hard to tell the difference as well because the real G-Shock watch is not, say, very heavy either. So it's difficult to tell exactly how heavy it should be unless you've, like me, you've touched a couple of G-Shock watches and you know exactly how it feels like. The last thing you want to check on it, which would be very important, would be the text on the watch itself. So the fake G-Shock watch that I got, the text itself only says a little bit of the G-Shock stuff and, you know, water resistance and all those kind of things, but usually the text have two faces to it. One face says all those things and the second face has the very same barcode and text that usually should correspond with the things that you have on the box, the packaging itself. The fake one only has one side, the other side does not have that barcode or the model number on everything like that. So that is one of the best ways to tell. The last one will be the platform that you're buying it from. So it's very, very important that you want to buy it from a reputable shop or a site like Lazada, Shopee, I'm not so sure, but Amazon, you know, all these kind of things. And when you're looking at those kind of buyers as well, or rather when you're looking at the sellers as well, you have to make sure that they have good reviews from people who have been buying their stuff. And usually it's a very, very good sign if they have sold a lot of these items before and they have good reviews and people enjoy them, especially if people are buying them again or people who have enjoyed all these things. They usually leave very good reviews. Those are the things that I really look at. Usually when they are selling these things as well, you also want to look at the pictures. Compare the pictures that they are posting compared to the pictures of the legit G-Shock watches that you can find on the websites itself. Compare those two and make sure that there's minimal to little differences, or hopefully no differences at all, so you get the real ones and you'll be able to sort of elevate or raise the probability of you getting the real G-Shock watches. The last one would be the price of the watch. The price of the watch, depending on the platforms itself, can really differ. I bought the fake G-Shock watch on eBay, so I think I rushed into it a little bit and the price was a little bit lower. I thought it corresponded to some of the prices that I saw online, but if you really look at eBay kind of prices, a lot of the prices are way more expensive and I chose one that's a little bit cheaper. So when you find something that's a little bit cheaper, the first thing you should be thinking about is that it's a little bit sus already. Why are they selling it for cheaper? Why do you think they're selling it for cheaper? Because it's fake, or maybe they're trying to get rid of it fast, or rather the chances of something happening or something going wrong is higher if you buy something that's a lot cheaper than the other, right? It's almost like how if you buy like for example, many years ago I tend to use something like the Apple charger. I tend to get the cheaper ones because I thought the legit one was so expensive, and if I use the cheaper ones, what happened was that I was able to charge my phone but it wouldn't last as long. It's cheaper but it would spoil so quickly and it's so irritating because every time you need to charge your phone, you need to use your phone, it doesn't work, or it even saps battery sometimes. You just make yourself so much more frustrated just because you're buying something fake or something that's a lot cheaper, and you end up having all this frustration and replacing it so often. You might as well just get a proper one. So the legitimacy of the platform is very important. The price of it is very important as well. You must question it. Why is it a lot cheaper than the others? A little bit cheaper is okay, but don't go for those that are a lot cheaper than the others. So if you watch all the way to here, of course, once you can tell with all the things that we have mentioned before, if you kind of compare the rainbow watch to the black watch, you kind of tell that the rainbow watch is actually the fake one, and I actually bought two of them from eBay for a total of $350. So that is a very big lesson over here, and I hope that hopefully the mistakes I made were, I was too excited about the watch. I really wanted to customize this rainbow watch because it just looks so cool on Stevie Sell's YouTube channel, and I wanted one for myself as well. I don't know if I really wanted to keep it or I really wanted to sell it for a premium price of like $300 over because I really got so excited over the watch itself. But yeah, I think I rushed too much into buying the watch. I really wanted a cool looking watch and I didn't make enough research, or I didn't do enough research to find out if this watch was legit or not. I didn't even compare the pictures. On hindsight now, if I compare the pictures, it looks so fake and it was so much cheaper than the rest. So obviously I would have made that mistake now, but hopefully since I made this mistake mistake already, you guys can learn from my mistakes and hopefully you won't get scammed as well. So next time before you make a buy like this, there are a few things that you probably have to do. You want to take your time to examine the listing. You want to do your proper research as well, and most importantly, that every watch that comes by your hands whenever you receive it, you do the following checks on the packaging, the details, the features of the watches to make sure that your watches are legit. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have been scammed before, or you guys bought a fake G-Shock watch before, or whatever your experience is. I would love to hear them. If you enjoyed this video on how to spot fake G-Shock watches, then perhaps you'll also be interested in this video right here that I have on how I started my first custom G-Shock side hustle business. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next few videos. Bye!